edition of Cooking with a Librarian. My name is Jacob Rockwell and I'm a librarian at the Buffalo Central Library. And I thank you today for joining us. Today we are going to make an almond and ricotta crostata, which is an Italian pastry. It is sort of like a pie, but today it's going to come out like a cheesecake basically. You can make other crostatas which have nuts in them or fruit, but today's is cheese-based. And you can find a ton of recipes in all of our cookbook collection at the Central Library. This one is a great resource. It's called La Cucina. It's a great cookbook, very thick, and it has a wide variety of recipes from main courses to desserts. Fantastic. So let's get to our recipe right now. Alright, so we're going to get started here with the crust of our crostata, and for that we're going to need our ingredients. We're going to need a pinch of salt, a tablespoon of baking powder, a third of a cup of sugar, 1 3/4 cup of flour, 5 tablespoons of butter, a little bit of vanilla, and of course 2 eggs. So let's get started here. So we'll add our sugar, our tablespoon of baking powder, pinch of salt, and we're going to add our 2 eggs. A little bit of vanilla. And then our butter. So we basically want to get in and mix this up until we have a nice dough. This isn't like a pie crust though, where we need to be concerned about mixing it too much. With the baking powder, we want it to rise. It's going to be more of like a cookie, actually. And there we have it. So now we're going to take some plastic wrap. And basically we just want to wrap it up. And then we will stick it in the refrigerator for 30 minutes. And we'll come back to it at that point. All right, we're going to start with our ricotta cheese. First we open it up. Empty the entire contents into the bowl. Next comes our sugar, 2/3 of a cup. Now we're going to add our almond flour, 1 egg, and then a 1/2 tablespoon of almond extract. There we go. All right, and now we whip this basically until it's nice and fluffy. Okay, and that's essentially what we're looking for. Our filling should be nice and creamy. All right, let's go check on our pie crust now. So our dough is out of the refrigerator. And what we're going to do now is take a piece of parchment paper, and we want to take half of our dough. We're just basically going to squeeze off half of it, and one will be our top and one will be our crust. Before we start rolling it, we are going to sprinkle just a little bit of flour on the parchment paper, and then push our dough down a little bit. Then on top of that, we're going to sprinkle a little bit of flour. Now we're going to start to roll. Now the goal is to get this to fit nicely inside of our pan that we have right over here. Okay, once we have it rolled out, we're going to take our scissors and just go around the edge, cut off the excess parchment paper. Don't have to be perfect, so we want to get rid of this extra paper because it's going to be difficult if we don't. Alright, so once we have that, we're going to take our 9-inch pan and just place this inside of the pan. And just kind of flatten it on the edges. And there we have it. Now we're going to take our filling and just pour it right in the top here. There we go. We're going to take some flour. We're going to put our dough on top. A little flour on top as well. And we're just going to roll out what we're going to do is just take this, go underneath our dough here, and keep it on top. Once we get this, we'll just do a little rescue there. There we go. Right. Perfect. Kind of want to gently squeeze the top and the bottom together, just like that. What we're going to do now is sprinkle some sugar on top here. And then on top of that sugar, I've got some chopped almonds. Just a little decorative touch. Okay, so that is it. I have preheated the oven to 350 degrees. We're going to bake it for 30 minutes and we'll be back with the finished product. Take it out. All right, I let it rest overnight and this is our final product. It looks great. Now we want to get it out of this pan. So I'm just going to go around with my knife, loosen up any bits that are still connected, but we have the parchment paper, so we shouldn't be too concerned about that. I'm going to take a plate, put it over top, flip it over, now it's time to test it. Let's just take a nice slice here in the center. There we have. That's exactly how we want it to look like in the center. Now I will take a taste test. Absolutely delicious. It's creamy. The crust is like cookie-like. Absolutely delicious. All right, well, thank you for joining us, and please tune in next time for another edition of Cooking with a Librarian.